Hello everyone, Pallytime here, and welcome back to Divinity Original Sin 2. This is episode 18. In the last episode, we did a lot of stuff involving dwarves. We went in here and talked to Lohar, who was contracted by Queen Justinia of the dwarves to retrieve packages of death fog that I believe the Magisters had. The Magisters had some death fog at the beginning of the game too, if you remember in the tutorial. But decided not to get the death fog because no one should have that weapon, not even underlords of Driftwood. So we told him that we killed Mortis. He told us that, well, if there's no death fog there, then I guess the death fog's already made its way to Arx. But we have promised Lohar that we will do everything we can to deal with the death fog before Queen Justinia can set it off in a capital city. Other than that, we killed some really, really irritating elementalist dwarves that kept jumping around and teleporting everywhere, but they're dead. It's gone. It's behind us. And now we are going to venture out of here. Lohar did tell us the locations of 3 other sorcerers that may be able to help us uncover a little bit more of our power. And we are going to try to do just that. There was a little bit more to do with like a secret room and stuff, but we didn't quite do that. You know what? I want to talk to him again. Now that we're bros, I want to be like, yo, what's up with this letter?
What is it? I have a lot on my mind.
Produce the Dwarven Queen's letter from your pocket. Show him the seal and hold it just out of his reach.
What are you doing with that? Hand it over. That's my property.
I mean, we already know about this. We already know exactly what this said, so I have no problem just giving it to him.
He quickly reads over the letter, as though making sure nothing has changed.
Good you brought this to me. I'd hate to think what might have happened to you if you hadn't.
All right. Take care, man. Appreciate you. Keep running the underworld. Oh, we get a reward. All of these are garbage. I'll take the hood because it sells for the most. I mean, as far as underground leaders go, he's just beating up this lady because she tried to kill him. I mean, I understand that motivation. We attacked someone in Fort Joy because they attacked us. Doesn't mean I necessarily feel good about it, but that's what we did. Let's talk to everyone else over here. Dwarven patron. He's very asleep.
Are you? No, you aren't.
Okay.
Watch him fight. Watch him. See that? Right in the kisser. Doesn't.
She fell asleep standing up? Is she sleepwalking? I don't understand. So most people in here don't seem to be too coherent. What about this guy?
The tigers fly, the leopards lie, and you, oh, but I know you, don't I? I have seen you in the night, the awoken one, hounded by dying gods. Just
Oh, he's a dreamer.
of course.
So he's one of the prophets, basically, of the
Hail,
lizard people.
darling. Call me Dorothea.
Dorothea! What do you got for sale? You think good? No, not really. Hi, what's up?
She draws close. You feel her breath on your neck.
Oh.
Hot, moist.
How you doing, baby girl?
Oh, yes. I have something that you want. But I only bargain with those I deem deserving. Those who have accomplished great things. So, tell me, are you worthy of my gift?
Insist the champions of the Fort Joy Arena need not prove their worth.
Indeed. This is acceptable. You are nearer the one than most self-described heroes I've known. So, tell me, are you ready for me to grant you your greatest desire?
World peace? Scholar, those eyes deep but lifeless, they reflect no light, as if absorbing even the ray that enters.
I see the questions scurrying through your head. It's worrying too much and wandering too far. If you show yourself to me, I will show myself to you.
What does that mean?
You have a need. To expose it, look into my ring and tell me what you see there.
Okay. Tell her, yeah, I'll do that. Who wouldn't want to see a wish granted?
Gaze into the gem, my lovely.
We've already had a wish granted by a genie. I wonder if she's something a little less desirable.
She flashes her ring at you, and you stare at the luminescent stone at its center. You are floating on a current of pure source, surrounded by a kaleidoscope of colors and fuzzy images. On the horizon looms a dark silhouette. As you approach, a beam of light washes the shadow away, revealing to you...
Oh, I get to pick. A towering oak withstanding gale force winds. A curved quill made from a swan feather. Its barbs are soft as a kitten's fur. A golden chest covered with ornate runes and overflowing with emeralds. A stately dragon. It spreads its violet wings and deafens you with its roar. A transparent... I don't know what that is. The blue butterfly within... Oh, chrysalis. Hey, context clues. The blue butterfly within looks ready to break free. I'm going to say an oak withstanding gale force winds.
Yes. I see you clearly now.
Because I'm a tank, I withstand things, I wither the storm.
A true warrior. You desire great strength. To you, an armed legion is merely a wall of flesh, ready to have a path carved through it. I will fulfill this desire. In return, I ask for one thing in return. A kiss.
Was she a succubus? Is this like gonna... I'm just curious, honestly.
Most delicious. Meet me around the corner, and come alone. An audience is not required.
A web of desire. Well, that sounds terrifying. I spoke to someone named Dorothea. Okay. We already know all of that. So she's heading over here. This seems like a terrible idea, but the scholar in me wants to know where this is going. What was this called? A web of desire. As we get over here, it looks as though there's spider webs and skulls in this corner, a dead thing in a chest. This is just a terrible idea. Okay.
Dorothea sees you and heaves a shuddering sigh. She bites into her lower lip with enough force that a drop of blood seeps out. Blood and something else. Something green.
Is it venom?
Darling, I admit I wish we could share more carnal pleasures. Yet I think a kiss is the height of intimacy. Now come closer and receive your soul's desire.
You draw closer and close your eyes, eager to feel her lips on yours. Yet her lips do not kiss against yours, and her hands do not caress your face. She is a woman no longer, but a were-spider.
A were-spider. Draw your weapon. You've been tricked. Fuck it. Yeah, let's see where this goes. Ah! That was scary.
Her fang painlessly sinks into your neck. You still hear her words, though they sound muffled, as if filtered through a glass wall.
You desired strength, and so my venom gives it to you. We part ways now. I'll remember this moment.
Hold on. See, you're a spider, and you just drank my blood.
You've seen my true self. There's nothing more to know.
What do you have to trade? The wicked. Okay.
She kisses her forefinger, then presses it against your forehead.
Now go.
You ever seen a new talent, the spider's kiss? What the fuck does that do? -2 constitution, but +2 to strength. That's useless! Oh well. Okay. Well, that was weird. My scholar curiosity, I think, got the best of me there. Minus Constitution plus to Strength. I mean, those are my primary stats anyway. So just kind of moved him around a little bit. Something I could have easily done by respecking, I imagine. Turns out we don't have an amulet on. So I'll just equip the best one we have. Okay, so we did get some leads on where we could go to find some more sorcerers. And one of them was Shahala, I believe I'm saying her name right. The elf that, or her tribe, Shahala's tribe, which is the elf that we helped back in Fort Joy. And we were told where we might be able to find her, which should be... I thought it was northeast. I'm pretty sure it is. So I'm going to make my way out there. We're going to bring Fane along with us, of course, and he will join us on our journey. And we'll see what there is to see. But first, we're going to have a little bit of a vendor break.
Buying or selling?
These are the Magisters that we kind of talked our way by to get into the city. It looks like there's another path we could have used to get in that would avoid the Magisters altogether. Just crossing over the water there. A Powerful Awakening Journal updated. We found Meister Silva hanging from her wrist at the gallows.
Do you even know what they've done to you?
So this was the person that Milady told us to talk to. Excuse me, Malady told us to talk to. So we have to save her, right? She's being protected by one Magister and a Silent Watcher. Hello.
A Magister guard approaches. Behind her, on the gallows, 2 lizards. One in a Magister uniform hangs dead from her neck. The other hangs from her hands, still alive.
Step away from the prisoner!
Who's the half-living prisoner and why is she hanging by her hands when the other one's hanging by her neck? That would mean a slow death, right?
She's hanging by her hands because the boss don't want her dead just yet. She's a tough one, Meister Seaver. She's a seeker and she's a bloody traitor.
I've heard of Seekers.
What have you heard? Have you heard that they killed our beloved Alexander? She was part of the Order. Knew Alexander personally. Alexander trusted her, at least as far as you can trust a lizard. To repay that trust, the Meister gave Alexander up to his enemies.
That's not what happened at all. You gonna read this, or is it coming on me?
She wasn't there when Alexander fell, but White Magister Raymond uncovered the truth. She's as guilty as any of them, and I reckon she got off lightly. I'd have had her flayed alive with a salted bullwhip.
So, this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna let the Meister free, and you're gonna stand aside.
You're going to... what, now?
I'm gonna give you the opportunity to set her free yourself, or I'm gonna take this situation into my own hands.
She betrayed Alexander. I'd sooner die than free her.
Ask if she knows who killed Alexander and point to ourselves.
I'll regret this, I know I will. All right, I'll stand aside.
How you doing up there?
The lizard hangs from the gibbet, her face blooded and her scales discolored. Her eyes are closed, but her tongue flickers as you approach.
Welcome to Driftwood, Godwoken.
How'd you know?
One bloody eye cracks open, glittering gold appearing from beneath the swollen lid.
Chased you all the way here from Fort Joy, did they? Very well then, cut me down. There is work to be done. Or indeed you could stand there gawping as if you were a cow ordered to dance a reel. This is a masterful performance. I would applaud it, but well...
I'm gonna reach up and undo her restraints.
Be quick about it. Who knows when that Magister might return?
She's not going to. I mean, if she does, we'll just kill her. I have no problem beating down Magisters. Quickly slice through her restraints and help her down.
God's teeth, it feels good to move again. Now, best scurry off before that Magister wanders back. Meet me at my home in Driftwood, and we can see what you're made of.
Well, I was gonna head somewhere else, but I suppose we can just go with her. Will that help? I guess not too much. She's still hurting pretty bad. Looks like she's gonna use the water passage, which makes sense. If she's wanted by the Magister, she would want a secret way to get back into town, wouldn't she? I believe this is her home right here. So, I mean, we were going out today to get more source power. She's going to be able to help us get stronger. I suppose the elves can wait a little bit and we'll commune with her. Tension medium. You shouldn't do anything out of the ordinary here. I wonder if that's because the Magisters are in charge.
This place has seen better days.
Don't say that. We're guests here. That's rude, Walter.
The Meister sits slumped in a chair, looking around the room as she works her shoulder with one hand. It looks like it was dislocated by the gallows.
Damnable red cloak baboons ransacking my wardrobes, as if I would keep ancient valuable secrets in a pile with my unmentionables.
She takes a deep breath, and with a twist, a click, and a screech of pain, she shoves her shoulder back into its socket.
I swear by the seven, if we did not have more important matters to attend to.
Reaching across the table, she pulls a bowl of hot water towards her and fishes some bandages, a needle, and thread out of a box. She slowly starts to tend to her wounds.
At least the barbarians were unable to club their way into my vault, so everything you need should be safe.
What exactly is it that you need?
In your case, more than I suspect, man. God or even reptile can provide. However, we must soldier on. It is not enough to be God-woken in order to ascend to divinity. There is a process.
As she speaks, the Meister uncorks a vial of shimmering liquid, sauce. She lets a couple of drops fall on her hand, but instead of infusing with her body, they quickly evaporate on her scales. She stares at the empty spot on her palm for a long moment before turning back to you, continuing as if nothing had happened.
That's odd.
A process by which God-woken may ascend. It begins with discovering your deepest self, delving into your own soul.
What do I need to do?
We shall begin once we have the tools we need from my vault. You may have been chosen God-woken, but becoming divine requires more than a supernatural pat on the head.
Yeah, you already mentioned something like that.
Come, God-woken. It is time to see just how awake you are. Fortunately, the Magisters pay as much attention to art as they do to fashion. Kindly remove that painting from the wall.
Happily! How'd you know? Wait, not that painting? Was there another painting? This painting? Of a landscape?
I pray my instructions will not be too technical for you. Your talent for following simple instructions fills me with push the button.
I did push the button. The door's open.
Now,
A stone door lies flush with the floorboards. Etched whorls in the granite frame a delicate rotary dial. Gleaming under the dim light, the metallic dial almost seems to wink at you.
I enter the save combination that the Meister calls out.
Taking your time, you carefully enter the combination. The metallic sounds of the tumblers falling within the mechanism let you know you entered the code correctly.
Excellent. Follow me. Your time is at hand, God-woken.
Down we go. Powerful Awakening just got updated. Oh, there's some source on the ground.
Ancient runes, weird contraptions.
That's the
This place
stuff.
is an Arcanist's dream.
Feel free to look about while I catch my breath.
Wow, there's stuff everywhere.
Come speak to me when you wish to proceed.
Yeah, let's go.
And try not to break anything in the meantime.
And take your painting.
The Meister is examining her wounds, prodding at this, wincing at that. Her face seems grim as she turns to you.
Do you know what it means to have the power of the divine, God-woken?
Means you have responsibility to others.
Just so. To accept divinity is to accept responsibility for the lives of every person and beast that walks Riverlon.
Indeed.
If granted divinity, you would have the power of all 7 gods at your disposal. You could heal any wound, pull islands from the sea, right any injustice. But make no mistake, the divine has only one duty: to protect this world from the void. The divine cannot use his power for anything else.
Nod. I understand.
Very well, then. Let's see if we can't snatch divinity from the jaws of the void. The ritual itself is quite simple. Drop some blackroot in the bowl, mix in a little blood, set the concoction aflame, and then inhale the smoke.
Drop blackroot in the bowl, mix a little blood, set the concoction aflame, and then inhale the smoke.
Ignore any feelings of dizziness, burning in your lungs, or a dire sense of existential dread. They're all perfectly normal. Although you will need to sacrifice a little sauce along the way. Everything you need is here. Ingredients in the cupboard. Source in the glowing fountain. Ritual in the tome by the bookcase. Even an incinerator to provide a flame.
The Meister looks back at her wounds, curiously prodding them as fresh blood oozes out, staining her claws.
Pause for a moment, and no, I want to help her. Those cuts look pretty bad.
Quite. Mind you, being torn asunder by a Voidwoken would be even more inconvenient. So if you wouldn't mind...
The Meister points sharply to the ingredients cupboard.
All right, I'll get started immediately.
And do not lose anything. These ingredients are rare indeed. I'm not hiking back out to the Cloisterwood to fetch you more blackroot.
So, the ingredients
Opening
cupboard.
the door, you see a selection of ingredients, thrown together in no particular order.
Look for the materials you need to complete the ritual.
After a quick rummage, you spot the blackroot, nestled between the grated dragon's tongue and Drudene oil.
Drudene!
You gather up the blackroot, obsidian lance, and ancient bowl, and kick the door of the cupboard closed.
So we have all the ingredients we need. Now, we need to use the obsidian lancet to get some blood on it. Then we combine the black root and the bloody dagger into the bowl, just like she told us to do. And that gives us the ritual bowl. Now, we can use the incinerator to spark a flame here, but I like to think that my fire is a little bit more personal. It'll have a bit better of an effect. There's a lot of smoke coming off of this, so let's go ahead and breathe it in.
Deep into your lungs, your vision starts to swim and cloud. There is an intense pounding in your head, and you can feel the world fading.
Hold in the fumes and ignore the thumping in your head.
As the world fades away, you lose all sense of being grounded. You reach out, but you could feel yourself falling slowly, sinking into the depths of your own soul.
And here we are again. The Hall of Echoes. Once more. This is starting to be our home away from home. And at the end, it appears that we are waiting for ourselves. I mean, the whole point of this was to see into the depths of our own soul. Hello, Walter.
Bathed in the half-light of these starless barrens, you spot a figure you could only describe as a second self. It looks haggard and weak, its very voice but a feeble echo of your own.
My chosen, come closer, so that you may see me as I truly am.
Step closer.
Look me in the eyes.
The apparition clasps your face in its shaking hands. You suddenly feel your eyes tingle. Everything becomes brighter, sharper. Blacks and whites become glorious bursts of color, then fade back into their accustomed spectrum.
Blind eyes, shine brightly. Speak the spell, and see.
You learn Spirit Vision. Cast a spell regularly to reveal a hidden world of ghosts lingering from the mortal realm. Let's use it. No, that was Bless. You know, so much for this mod not adding things onto my bar constantly. Ugh. Okay. So, Spirit Vision.
God is the strange mirror image of yourself. Before you stands the god Ralik in all his spectral glory.
You know me now, don't you? I saved you from drowning. I blessed you, made you powerful. And now I've come to seek some power in return. Your god-woken soul is my last refuge, my last bastion. May as well make the best of what you have to offer.
Ralik nourishes himself from the source that abounds in your presence. You feel it deep down inside yourself.
So he just took the source that we had away from us. He stole a little bit of our power. I definitely didn't give him permission to do that.
Ah, yes. Just what I needed. I tell you, dying just doesn't become a god.
Gods are immortal after all.
Immortality is only permanent, my dear, until one day it simply ceases to be. The void itself is hunting down the gods, leeching us in ways we never thought possible. Droplet by droplet, we are being drained. We're battling for our very survival. It's a battle we're losing, and should we truly lose, all will be cast into oblivion.
Point out that by hiding in your soul, he's turned you into a target for every Voidwoken in the world.
Well, sort of. But by all means, let that be a motivator, not a cause for concern. You must realize that our fates are now as one, just as our souls are now as one. We are I.
So Rollick is inside of me now.
Together we are a force to be reckoned with. But if we seek to survive the onslaught of the Void, we stand no chance unless we become vastly more powerful than we are now. That means there is but one place we can go. The Well of Ascension.
The Well of Ascension. I've read it's the fabled birthplace of the gods.
It most certainly will be. The Well of Ascension is a lake, a pool of pure source in which the powers of the seven lie united. We gave them up freely to create the first divine. Each of us donated half of that which makes us gods. To bathe in the lake is to become our chosen. That is where the road to divinity leads, and you must be the first to reach it at all costs.
Why is it so important to you that I should win? Surely any new divine would do.
There you touch upon the very heart of the matter. The Void is stronger than ever. A new divine won't be enough. You need to go to the Well of Ascension, not to bathe in the source of the seven, but to take it. All of it. Only he who claims everything will be everything. The Void's doom. This world's liberator.
What will happen to the other gods and the Godwoken if I do this?
It's very simple, really. They will either bow to you or be undone. But of course, that is what they are saying to their own Godwoken as we speak. We both know they won't bow, just like we both know you will never bow to them. Only one can become a god strong enough to safeguard our world. One, at the expense of all others. So make no mistake, my champion. Chances are the road to divinity will be paved with dead gods, their blood on your murderous hands.
What the fuck?
But don't let that dismay you. For these sins will be washed clean by the knowledge you committed them to save all of existence. To save your kin, and your loved ones, and the world they live in.
I wish to work with others, not work against them. I don't need to be a tyrant to succeed.
Of course, the ends do justify the means. Life, or the eternal void. If you choose life, you choose the Well of Ascension. I will lead you there when you're ready, when you've become a true master of the Source and speak the language of creation itself. Our journey will be fraught with peril. It is a pilgrimage of challenges that will require you to command Source like only a Godwoken can, and wield its most powerful spell.
If I am to become the Master of Source, surely there's no better tutor than a god themselves.
Hoarse laughter rolls and echoes into infinity.
You flatter me, my chosen. But if all I had to do was give, you would have long since have received. We are I now. The spells you need to know I will teach you when you are ready. But first, you must learn to channel the Source in greater volumes. That is why you need to seek Masters of the Source. You must make them teach you, so that you may become a master in turn. So, return to Rivellon and seek out these sages where they dwell. Convince them to share with you their deep-seated bond with the Source. Once you have, you may return to me here.
Before I go, ask what exactly did it do to your eyes?
Something that will make you understand that for a god, there is precious little difference between the living and the dead. Source is. It is a constant, a subject of neither time nor transience. All of life is Source, and in Source it is. Immortally so. You have the vision of a god now. Eyes that can see spirits, the souls of the dead made manifest in Source. Speak the spell during your peregrinations, and you will see them. Where the dead lie, the dead linger.
All right.
Best of luck, my champion.
What happens if Fane is to use the ritual ball, I wonder?
Lucky find.
Yeah, maybe you'll hold on to that, Fane.
Go now.
I really am curious.
The Meister stares intently at you. Her eyes are tired and bruised, but determined.
Still alive? Gods above, there might be something to you after all.
She leans in, her bloody tongue flickering hungrily about your face.
Tell me, what did you see? What you know?
Ignore the burning in my lungs and quickly explain what happened. Your god hiding within you, your new power, and the masters of Source.
She sighs impatiently as you hack up the last of the green smoke.
You can't channel enough Source? Gods be damned, why couldn't you have a nice simple problem? Finding an orc to dance the hornpipe, perhaps?
She doesn't know what you don't know what I need to do next?
I know exactly what must be done. You must find a master of Source. And I could have helped you once, but no longer. The purging which the Magisters included as part of their service was quite efficient. They stripped me of my Source. Not enough to silence me, but enough that I would not turn their insides to lime. Enough to sever my link to the font from which all Source flows. And certainly enough that I cannot train you. So we must seek alternatives. Alas, the only Source Masters not yet hauled off to Fort Joy or turned into meat puppets are those too dangerous or cunning for the Magisters to contain. Sorcerers that allowed their power to corrupt them. Many are wicked, cruel, vile, and generally not good teacher material, but we may have no others to turn to.
Rest your hand on your weapon. You'd better be killing such creatures and not begging them for help.
Were the circumstances any different, I would indeed agree. However, it is the path we walk, no matter what the cost. No matter what is asked of you.
The Meister doubles over in a violent coughing fit, struggling for breath. After a few moments, she regains her composure, wiping a thin smear of blood from the corner of her mouth.
No matter what is asked of you, you must learn from them.
You can't hide the concern on your face. She doesn't seem very well.
And you do not seem to be paying attention. Sorcerers, evil, controlling your source, saving Rivellon, please. Please tell me at least some of this rings a bell. Your focus, your only focus, must be on finding these masters, on finding the secrets to divinity. Nothing else matters.
We already know where we can find some of these masters, but let's ask her what she thinks.
The Magisters have kept ledgers with all known sorcerers, especially the powerful ones not yet captured. They would be an invaluable resource, but do be careful not to get caught. I was their guest for a time, and I promise you the gallows was the most comfortable part of the experience. And if their barracks turns out to be as empty as their skulls, just try to keep an ear to the ground. There may still be powerful sorcerers hiding in these lands.
As she speaks, one of her wounds reopens, a dark red stain spreading across her tunic. She hisses in frustration and starts to bind the gash.
I wish there was more I could do, but in this condition, I would be more a hindrance than a boon. Godspeed, and remember, do whatever it takes.
Wish her well, and take our leave. Actually, does she have anything for sale? Those aren't bad, but far too expensive. Those are almost better than mine, and they're terrible, which makes me a little sad. All right, wish her well and take our leave. Oh, there's a spirit in here. We're able to see because of our spirit vision. By the way, one of the mods on the list makes it so that the spirit vision basically just lasts forever. Normally it would last 10 turns, and you constantly have to refresh it. Really fucking boring. Really lame. So we circumvented that with the mod.
The spirit of an elegant elven woman materializes before you. She seems surprised.
You can see me. A god woken in my presence. You honor me.
Who are you? Or who were you?
I am the Meister's apprentice. I study under her, but I do not learn. I hear tales of the ritual, of what lies beyond. Such wonders, such powers. I decide to pursue them myself. Meister tells me it cannot happen, that I am not God-woken. But in my heart, I know I'm special. I try. I burn the root. I breathe the smoke, and it burns me back. No air fills my lungs, only fire. When the darkness falls, I cannot cry out. I leave my life behind with a shameful whimper.
Why do you risk such a thing, if you're aware of the dangers?
The spirit looks at you regretfully.
It is hard to hear of such power and not covet it for yourself. I lie to myself and convince myself that I am special. But I am not special. I am dead.
It's a little dark. All right. Well, Fane, shall we get out of here? We have some investigating in the Magister's place to do. Like I said, we already know of some sorcerers that were around, but we also have another small motivation for being in here. We got a key from Lohar that opens up a chest on the second floor.
Milson, my inkwell is dry. Fetch me some
right
more.
away.
You don't seem to mind that I'm in here so far.
I'm on a break now, Yvette. You better not fall asleep on your watch again.
Calm down, Brianna. Carver's got his dossier on the sorcerers. Everything's falling into place. All I need to do is watch.
Oh, that's the... It's locked. Can we... So where does this key go to? Or did he say it was in the basement? Oh no, it must be that. It must be that.
I'm on a break now, Yvette. You better not fall asleep on your watch again.
Fane, if you would be so kind to talk to the Magister.
Calm down, Brianna.
That might be looking this
Carver's
way.
got his dossier on the sorcerers.
Head nodding drowsily, the Magister brings her voluminous sleeve up to her face. She sniffs loudly and suddenly jerks to attention, eyes red-rimmed with zeal, and something else.
They won't take me unawares. I'm ready for anything. See? I haven't stepped in. Well, I'm ready. That's what matters. Vigilance.
Raise an eyebrow, which we don't have any, and say, she seems to be a little highly strung.
She turns her back on the other Magister and leans right up close in your business.
Shh. No need to shout about it. It's just a tiny, eensy mite of a smidgen of whatever can keep me awake. No sleep. If I can just keep my eyes open, I'll be safe.
Oh, hello. Maybe you should go to bed.
She breathes heavily as she looks past your face, pupils dark and wide as the void, then resumes her twitchy post.
I'm on a break now, Yvette. You better not fall asleep on your watch again.
Head nodding drowsily, the Magister...
They won't take me unawares.
Let's try this.
I'm ready for anything.
Remind her
See?
that even soldiers need sleep to be efficient.
She laughs an unpleasantly brittle crackle.
Sleep is for the weak. Weak! You just wait, indeed. You'll fall into it like all the others, not me.
There has to be a way. There has to be a way.
Oh, great, a citizen. Can't you see I'm on a break here?
Say it's pretty rich to have a break when the Void Woken are prowling outside town.
She narrows her eyes and pins you with a bitter stare.
You ever seen a Void Woken up close? I have. Barely escaped with my life.
Show her the Void Woken scars ripped into your flesh.
She raises her eyebrows, clearly impressed, despite herself.
It's always sorcerers. They get into every nook and cranny and lure those Void Woken out.
As if anticipating a negative response, she holds up her hands.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure life's no picnic for them either. But I've heard it all before. We've got a whole realm to protect and sorcerers just can't be trusted.
She nods at you curtly and turns away.
Well, Fane, if you would be so kind. I know you can hide here.
I'm on a break now, Yvette. You better not fall asleep on your watch again.
Thievery too low?
Calm down, Brianna. Carver's got his dossier on the sorcerers. Everything's falling into place. All I need to do is watch.
Well, it seems that sneaking into this is going to be a little harder than I thought. Let's wait and see if they walk around a little more. What does she do if I sit in her chair? She comes back, right? By the way, just in case anyone was wondering, Thane is wearing a helm, hiding the fact that he's undead.
I'm on a break now, Yvette. You better not fall asleep on your watch again.
We just don't have that displayed.
Everything's
As I
falling
was
into
standing
place.
here waiting for these guys to leave, I realized that that was stealing, and that's not something I'm trying to do.
Right away.
Oh, hold on. What is this, though? This isn't stealing. Is this the torn letter? Is this the sorceress we've been trying to learn about? Then again, is stealing from Magisters the worst thing I could do? I mean, I don't think so. Fane.
Surrounded by incompetence. I deserve a better post.
If you would be so kind as to talk to her when she stands up, I think we might need that.
I need those reports, damn it.
Right away.
Stand up.
I'm watching you, stranger.
Good. It's exactly what we want. Read the torn letter. Raymond had hopes that this letter would prove unnecessary, but I'm still waiting for news about the fate of the pacemaker and want details. I have thought that it made quite clear now if I had to fit a trip into Driftwood into my schedule, I'd be most displeased. So, Douse the Hammer knows about the Death Fog. The Magisters here obviously know about the Death Fog. And, well, I mean, we can assume that they were going to use it, right? So, Magister Carver.
The Magister startles, realizing there's a stranger in his midst.
What do you want? You can't just come in here as you please. There's Magisters missing. I'm trying to conduct a bloody investigation.
Tell me about your name and your rank, and say you'd like to learn about the missing Magisters.
Good to hear someone cares about our missing uniforms. If we don't find the culprit soon, I fear we'll lose another good recruit.
You mentioned a fugitive?
Yes, a vile little tinkerer goes by the name of Higba. 3 of my Magisters have gone missing of late from right here in Driftwood. All signs are that Higba is responsible.
What makes you sure you have the right suspect?
The fiend's greed gave him away. He was peddling items that belonged to those missing from our ranks. He saw my men before they could seize him and fled.
He must be of the fearsome sort to have bested Magisters by himself.
Hardly. By all accounts, he seemed like just another money-grubbing nobody. He must have caught my Magisters unawares. It's the only explanation. No matter, he'll face justice either way. If you catch sight of that dog, tell me or my men at once. Understand? There might even be a reward in it for you.
Okay.
Bellwether!
You know what I just thought of? Maybe holding on to that note that we gave to Lohar would have been a good idea. Maybe just having that as evidence that Death Fog was going to be on the way to Arx. We have enough evidence to know that the Magisters were behind it, at least originally. Maybe having that just as a physical item that we could show someone would have been a good idea. But alas, we already gave it away, so can't go back on that. I'm going to make my way up north just to see what we could find. Hello.
I bet you're the musical sort. You've thought about taking up the lute. I got a few ready to go, all freshly strung.
Never thought about it.
A shame. Everyone's got a melody in 'em. You just gotta look. My brother Laszlo couldn't carry a tune in a bucket when he were a wee thing. Now, he's got the voice of an angel.
Laszlo, I met his brother in Fort Troy.
He's all right then, yeah?
He was in good spirits. I believe he was playing a lute down by a fire. So yeah, he was in good spirits.
That's Laszlo, all right. If he had the blues, you'd never know it. Nothing kept his big smile from brightening the darkness. I hate the Magisters for what they'd done. Stole me brother. Stole me heart. I keep going though, hoping to get to Arx sooner than later. Lucian's Day crowds will be wanting some musical trifles.
Yeah, let me see what you have for sale.
Come back if you need. I'll be whittling away.
I'll take the empty potion, and why not? We'll take a lute too. Take care.
Don't let them silence your song, whether fanfare or lullaby.
Keeping up in high spirits, I like that. Whoa, that's a lot of traps here. Let's try to navigate around those.
Up ahead, Paladins, the famous divine protectors of Arks.
Ah, fellow Paladins!
Traveler.
I wonder what they're doing here, so far from home.
Hello!
Who goes there?
I'm an adventurer, and I'd like to take the road east.
Ha! If you're looking for adventure, east's the way to go. It's a void-woken hellhole over there. Sorcerer at work. Powerful one.
You don't say.
Plus, you could wait for the Magisters to sort them out. You'll be waiting.
What are the Paladins doing here?
Holding the fort like we always do. Usually the fort in question is bigger than this one, but you do the job in front of you, don't you? Seems someone high up doesn't trust the Magisters to do their jobs out there.
What should I expect on the other side of the bridge?
What should you expect beyond the bridge?
That's what I said.
Expect sorcery of the highest order. Expect Voidwoken, bigger and badder than you've ever seen. Expect the void. Expect to die.
You're really encouraging me. Why do you have a wooden block?
Go on through, adventurer.
Well, I mean, at least he didn't tell me that I couldn't go. Paladin Cork! There's a ghost nearby. Ghosts may linger anywhere they have unfinished business. I mean, we should see that, right? I don't know. Paladin Cork! He was the one we saw back in Fort Joy.
By Lucian's sword, we meet again.
Hello!
Would that circumstances were better here than in Fort Joy. But they're not. Voidwoken lie in wait beyond the bridge.
Well, do you just need me to kill some Voidwoken for you? Because I could do that. Actually, it kind of looks like you got them all killed already. Kind of doesn't look like you need me at all.
Those Voidwoken. I'm impressed.
Dude, were you just shooting at something? There's a spirit here we could talk to learn something. I thought this guy was firing off a shot somewhere. I'm just gonna do a quick lap. I don't see anything so far. Everything seems totally fine, in fact. Oh, we got another spirit here. Spirit of a deer hunter.
The spirit of a poacher stands before you. He begs for mercy, but not from you. He has no eyes for you.
Please, Master Riker. It was a mistake. I'd never have killed that deer, not if I knew who it belonged to.
So Riker, the one that owns the graveyard, we learned about him recently, clearly killed that guy because he shot a deer. Those are the pieces we can put together, right? I think those are the pieces we can put together. A void-touched deer.
4 deer stand in formation near a crumbling altar. 3 stags, fawn-coloured and hearty, gaze cloudy-eyed at a great black skeleton glowing an eerie green.
Oh, God. Quietly take our leave.
The 4 deer suddenly fall silent and stand stock. The voidwoken deer
Oh,
turns
God.
its head to you, great antlers glowing in the dappled shade.
Eat its eyes.
They were all void? Shit. This thing is level 14. What level are we? We're level 12. So we're outnumbered by a void deer. I would delay my turn to give Fane a little bit more of an opportunity to help out here, but it doesn't look like I'm able to. Wow. Well, they don't have any physical armor, they don't have any magical armor, so we should be able to AoE these guys down nice and easy. Void Touch Deer. Oh, he shoots acid. Well, Fane will love that. Fane will love that. Let's go ahead and make it rain. Remember, they don't have physical armor, so that'll deal bleeding damage. And let's just summon in a bone spider and a totem over here as well. Totem a bit further back. Now, I do want to get through the physical armor of this guy, so we'll use the bone spider for that. What does this do? Burrow and devour corpse. Okay. Now when it's Walter's turn, which it should be any moment, I'm not too worried about the health and well-being of the bone spider, I'm not gonna lie. So, let's make them burn. Let's make them regret ever fighting me. I'm gonna jump a little bit. Actually, I can't jump in any deeper. But I can CC 3 of them. Alright, so that was my turn. It landed a critical strike on the bone spider, but we should be able to deal with it. No problem. We already have fire wands, so we'll just throw some attacks over here. It is cursed fire now, which is kind of a pain, but I'm not too worried about it. We can keep these guys crowd controlled quite a bit. I'm gonna charge back down, knocking these guys down again. Jump back up to where I was. And do an AoE. For a little bit of damage, not too much. Now this is... Oh, one down. This is quite a bit of damage that we're dealing, but these guys are withstanding it, no problem. We'll just beat this Void Touch Deer up. This is the main one. He's already burning with Necrofire. I suspect he won't last too much longer. Let's just beat him up. But 120 damage a swing right now, which is not bad at all. This Void Touch Deer is actually decaying. Poisoned. God, he's just being beat up by everything. Decaying, poisoned, Necrofire. The poison would heal him, right? I believe so, anyway. Well, no matter. They've all been defeated now. If I walked up there with Feint first, you'd get a little bit more dialogue because he has Pet Pal. If you're playing along and you wanted to do that. But we didn't. Ooh, a Source Orb. Don't mind if I do. Those are pretty rare. And an altar.
The ancient altar before which the deer crowded sits stark in the dappled forest light. Something about it draws you in. It seems to emit a faint, pleasing heat.
Observe the stone construction, looking for the source of the heat.
The stones appear to be just that. Apart from a few faded red stains across the topmost slab, nothing unusual betrays itself.
Lay a hand upon the flat surface.
Gentle heat warms your hand.
Kneel before the altar and offer a prayer. It seems like something a paladin would do.
The air stirs, as though someone had appeared and taken a seat upon the altar. A voice rises around you, its source unclear. Fractured whispers surround you. God-woken. The word flutters against your ear. You are my champion. You cannot fail.
So that's our god.
A jolting sensation pierces your heart. As the shock fades, you realize you've absorbed a modicum of source, seemingly from the air around you. The whispers shuffle away, and the air shifts. Whatever was here a moment ago is gone now.
What happens if...
Before you lies a primitive altar to the Seven, apparently constructed during a bygone era. Something about it appeals to you. A faint heat emanating from the stones, perhaps. The altar waits for...
Okay. So, I'm not seeing any more Void Woken out here, team. I think these guys cleared it up no problem other than those deer, and those weren't even that powerful. What does the spirit of this guy have to say?
We showed them. Yes, we did. We showed them how to die.
You certainly did show them how to die.
We'll win this war yet, brother. We'll win it yet.
All right. Is that what you need to... Does he mean he killed them? Was he really excited about killing them? I'm not too sure. There's a spirit over here as well. Spirit of Laurie Godfrey.
The spirit mouths the words to a mourning song. If you listen carefully, you can hear her whisper.
Well, I'm assuming this is the song here. And I'm assuming that's her on the ground.
I shall not mourn till war is done. I shall not weep while blood still runs. I'll hold my tears when weeping comes, and I'll avenge my darling one.
She turns back to her fallen self once more, her eyes glistening.
I'll hold my tears.
The spirit whispers.
I shall not mourn till
Sing the next line with her.
Softly you sing. I'll hold my tears when weeping come. She registers your presence and gives you the sweetest smile.
And I'll avenge my darling one.
She turns back to her fallen self once more.
That's sad.
A senior paladin sits hunched over a tattered map. He registers your presence, sits back in his chair, taps his fingers on the map.
Who are you, and who sent you?
Tell him no one sent me, I'm just passing through.
He appraises you with a look, then grimly grins.
I think I've heard about you. Didn't you free the Meister from the gallows in Driftwood?
I did, that's true.
Then I may well have a job for you, if you're interested.
Suggests he should send paladins to do paladins' work. Well, that's exactly what he's about to do! Ask him, what do you want done?
He taps a finger on the map on the table.
Here, in the Black Pits, are White Magisters. Their operation is shrouded in mystery, and this pricks our ears. We are gravely concerned. We believe the White Magisters may have strayed into the darkness. We suspect that Dallas herself and her master Vriedemann are the inspiration for these dark endeavors. Look under the white veil of secrecy and report back.
Ask him how much will this work pay? I don't really care. But I don't have an option to just skip that, so that's what we're going to do.
How much do you want? I have fewer paladins to pay, so I have ready gold. But there are limits.
I will settle for a reasonable sum of 100 gold.
He breaks into laughter.
Done. And cheap at the price, too.
He offers you an item.
Take it.
A whistle-like device sits nestled in your hand.
It was a war owl whistle.
When you're ready, send a war owl. Be careful out there. It's a dangerous place these days. And I'd like to think I'll hear from you again. And, adventurer.
Yes?
He looks you in the eye.
Don't get caught.
I'll try my best not to.